everyone. So I'm going to be doing a general reading today, okay? So the first thing that I'm hearing, a couple things. I'm hearing movement, and then I'm hearing decision, okay? And there's a decision that needs to be made by you in the near future, but when I say the word near, then they show me the word new. So it feels like a new future in the near future for you, okay? Because of the fact that this decision that you're making, I'm hearing a radical, the word radical, but they're showing me this as an internal radicalization, okay? It's the way that you perceive something, the way that you're dismantling limited possibilities for yourself, okay? They're showing me the 5-year plan, right? And then they're pointing me to all points in a person's life, whether they're in their early 70s, their late 80s, their 40s, their 30s, so on and so forth. It's like you can still have a 5-year plan irregardless of where you may have real life circumstances that may be affecting it, right? If you have medical issues, if you have financial issues, whatever's going on that may interfere with that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be perceived as an issue, right? It could be advancements, medical advancement, financial advancement, right? In some sort of internal advancement, but this is where they're really pointing out that that's that radical point of view that is going to be changing it. And it's not, they want to change the way I said that, because it's not a point of view, it's a point of feeling. It's a point of saying, okay, you know what, this is what's possible for me, and it's allowing that possibility, that belief, that living in that truth of where you see yourself, for instance, in 5 years, having that plan and allowing the energy to come forward and come through in order. And then they're showing a bunch of little holes, okay? And because they want to show like a sponge, right? It's like you've now become a sponge where you are penetrable by the possibilities, the energetic possibilities, to have the details come through and come forward for you to embody what it is. Because if you don't have that belief, if you reject that belief, then you're rejecting the possibilities to come through. You become a full sponge that doesn't allow something else to come through. You're not a sponge at all, right? So basically, you're allowing yourself to become that sponge to absorb those possibilities that you have set forth for you, okay? So the card that just came through, it didn't really come through, I was shuffling and it flipped over, is Dragon's Lair, and it's reversed, okay? And then I keep hearing repeat, infinite possibilities in my head. You have infinite possibilities. We have Wizard of Awareness in reverse. I'm going to take a peek at this just because it kind of jumped to the side. So we have Mountain reverse. I'm looking at it. You're basically sitting in front of me, so it's upright for you, but I'm seeing it in reverse. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the challenge that I am seeing that was presented for you is the lack of infinite in your possibility. There's something that seems practical, it seems imaginative, so it's something that happened in your mind, right? It's something that you created or curated in your mind of what's possible for you, but you limited it based upon logical reason. And your guides are saying they're circling back and repeating. Okay, they're circling back and repeating something that I said yesterday. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. It's going to go out tomorrow on Wednesday, right? This is a timeless reading, so irregardless of whenever you view this, if you felt drawn to this video, then it is going to be relevant for you. So this is what I'm seeing, okay? So yesterday I recorded a pick a card reading, and the audio on it was completely gone. It was all messed up, right? And they were showing me this in terms of the Akashic records, how irregardless of whether you see that video or not, it now exists in the Akashic records. Not the video necessarily, but like what I did yesterday, right? So it's like any energy that I put out is forever in existence in the Akashic records. And then they show me the timeline, right? And how, you know, when I talk about past lives, future lives, parallel lives, in like not parallel lives, but more of like what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, where it's like you have a current life unfolding elsewhere, right? It's at the tip of my tongue. You know what I'm saying? And in essence, everything is happening as a parallel. It's all happening upon itself. It's all happening at once. So to say past and future and current kind of lives is kind of confusing exactly what it is that's occurring, because it's all happening at once. And so the same thing with Akashic records, where everything is compiled within the record book, right? But it's interesting because the future is in some way malleable. It's determined by what's happening currently, but then I hear concurrently. And so anyway, they were showing me this, and they're bringing me back to this because something that I had said in one of the readings in particular. They're telling me hold on, and then they wanted me to see the top card. It's Deep Freeze. It's number 26. I was going to say 23 because I'm looking, but so 26 and 23 seem to be significant numbers here. I'm feeling drawn to say for someone in particular, so I don't think that this is going to be for everyone, that those numbers are going to be significant for. And then we have Magic Stream in reversed. There's something you're unaware of, okay? And this goes back to limitless possibilities. And then now they're bringing me back to what I was going to say of what I picked up in that reading, which is, okay, your guides, first of all, want to come through to point out orbs. So you've either been seeing orbs or you're going to be seeing orbs in it's sooner than near future, like very, very soon, okay? And they want you to notice this. It's not necessarily that you have to pay attention to this. They just want you to pick up on this, because this is going to drive your attention more to, it's like tuning your energy. They want you to tune back in with the energy of the divine and with the energy. It's still the divine, but it's light, and it's focusing on, it's like focus on us and you focus on divine, right? And that's going to help you listen to your heart more on what decision, what choice you will make in this decision, because we want you to apply both logic and your heart. You can do both. You don't have to do one or the other, right? And they put this in an example of, okay, this is where my heart leads me. Now, logically, what are the steps, or what is the tool that I would need in order to achieve my dream? What is it that I need to do in order to have this? And allow yourself to open yourself like a sponge to the answers, and to the and the answers are going to come through as the energy that sets forth all the things that you're looking for in order to achieve your dream. You have to accept that energy. Now, they do want me to point out and to kind of correct part of this, which most all of you already know, so this just seems to be a reminder, but I just saw two words. I saw ghost and I saw dead. Okay, so as you're more receptive to energy, right, you still have to maintain those boundaries and recognize what is of you and what is not of you, what is of the light, what is not of the light, right? And they want to point this out because they don't want to deter or distract by you noticing or paying attention to anything that may be ghostly or someone who has now been deceased. Now, this does not translate to someone that you may know. It feels like it's translating to someone that you would not know, that you would not recognize, right? Or you would loosely recognize. And they want you to pay attention to that advice, this advice, because you will be seeing, or you have been seeing, this type of energy. And this is indicative of you being still so receptive and available and aware of your spiritual abilities, but they don't want you it's something about hearing it. It's like, we don't want you to hear that. They want you to shut that off. They're not to shut your abilities off, right? Just shut your attention off from that. You can kindly tell those energies to go away. This is what they want you to do. We have Golden Palace and follow the leader. Okay, Golden Palace reverse, follow the leader upright. And I'm hearing that you're right about this. You're right about this. And it feels like you have such a strong inner compass that just hearing this or just discussing this, just being reminded of this, puts you directly in line with, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I want to do. It's very simple. So they're coming through to validate what a strong inner compass that you have. And then this is a side note for someone. I'm seeing shortbread, like shortbread cookies. And there's something connected to that, like some sort of sign when it comes to shortbread cookies for someone. I have to hide these because they're a little racy. Okay, so, well, I have to monitor it. Then I'll show you if they're not too scandalous. Okay. We have the Devil and the Ace of Swords. Well, you can see the Ace of Swords, but it's fine. I'm just gonna look. The 4 of Coins, 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands. Yet, essentially, you're laying to rest there's a past bad behavior that I see connected to you, okay? And this bad behavior seems to be connected to your mind, but it affects, it kind of feels like movement, so it affects something to do with the energy output that you have in some physical form. And there's an interference when it comes to your frequency because of this particular bad habit. It's not a major interference whatsoever, but you're aware of this to the point that you have thought about it. You've even maybe thought about adjusting this, or you've already started to adjust this. And what I'm hearing with this is essentially it's just a repeat of what I've said, but they're saying something about your work ethic and how it's amplified. Your work ethic is now going to be amplified from here on out. There's an adjustment, a slight adjustment that you've either just made or you're going to be making, and This is amplifying your energy output in the right direction, which you're already heading in the right direction, but it's making it, is it speeding it up? It feels sped up, but it's almost like that's not really what's happening. It's just you have more excitement and energy towards this. It's kind of like if you were to want to have something to happen in your life and kind of going towards it in a more controlled fashion and not really wanting to get your hopes up or kind of being focused so much on the details of how to get there, right? Versus saying, you know what, this is what I want. I'm excited for this. I'm happy for this. And let's just do it and see what happens. And then they show me this in a better example, like a more clear example of what I'm trying to convey. So baking bread, right? They're showing me like baking bread, and they're specifically showing sourdough bread, right? And how I see in like some of these sourdough communities, people get really strict with themselves on how to bake bread, right? And it can be very taxing on the mind of like, how do I do this? How do I do this? But you can also go about it in more of a playful and experimental type of attitude, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be perfect. You can be like, why did you want to start baking bread, right? And just have fun with the process. And in having fun with the process, then you can learn more and you can expand more and you can become more creative, because in some essence, it is a creative pursuit, especially when it comes to whatever this is being discussed here. There is a creative aspect to it, but more so in the sense of feeding and nurturing your soul. And when I say that, then they bring me to, I'm not sure whom exactly this is. I think it's like one of the Buddhas that has like their hat looks like a bunch of like honeycomb. You know, it looks like the honeycomb or the nest of the bee. I'm seeing that. And so there must be a reference. I don't know what exactly they represent, but there's a connection there. And then I'm seeing being grounded, and literally being grounded, like getting out into nature, putting your feet into the dirt, putting your hands in the soil, and recharging and being connected and one with Mother Earth. And in doing so, it's not just energizing you, it's recharging you. And in this feeling of being recharged and renewed and connected deeper, I don't like saying that, because that's incorrect. You're not connecting deeper to spirit. You're very, very connected to spirit. It's just sharpening that field. It's like they're showing me in a way of detoxing. So you're detoxing your energy, and in doing so, it's eliminating the things that are interfering with that innate sharp connection with spirit, with the light. And so the more that you're doing these things willingly, right, it doesn't feel like you're doing this begrudgingly, it's something that you're happily doing, the more your energy feels drawn to going towards what it is that you have planned and believe in and have decided on in a more energized, excited, creative, and open fashion, right? Especially with creativity, you aren't necessarily strict, right? It's like someone starts out painting a portrait and then they start picking up seashells when they're at the beach and adding it to the painting, right? And then they start, breaking glass and putting it on there. And then they end up just completely cutting it off of the frame and then placing it onto, a clay vase. Like, it's like the creative aspect just overtakes and not over consumes, but like consumes you, and you become what you believe, right? You're a living embodiment of what it is that you wanted to manifest, because you've allowed yourself to do so, right? So I see this for you and also as a very huge message for you. And then I look down and I'm drawn to the ribbons of these two outfits, and I'm not sure the type of it's like think of it as like ceramic. There's I don't know the name, if it has a name, where it's kind of ribbon like that, but they're drawing me to this. And again, this artistic essence, this artistic value when it comes to you, and just the way that you are represented, your energy is being represented. It's a liberating feeling, and how connecting to you and touching you, like physically touching you or energetically touching you. It's not or, but and or, for people surrounding you, and also just energetically surrounding you. Even for me to connect to this energy is an uplifting energy, and it is an inspiring energy that is also going to uplift and radicalize humanity. Sounds like very intense and dramatic, but that's what I'm getting. That's the truth. And I did hear that your answers, see, I'll put what just fell out. Like they are listening. They are listening. Okay. And then we have Moonlight and we have Sacred Pool. And I'm not even sure how these came out. I know that came out upright, but I wasn't paying attention to this because it feels all upright, so I'm just showing you. Even though it's reversed for me. Anyway, who cares? So, and then I'm being drawn to this, what's this called? Hourglass. And hour by hour, it becomes yours. I just heard hour by hour, it becomes yours. And I heard what I was about to say is that they're listening to you. Your answers, your prayers are answered, or because I want to say they're about to, but they are answered. Your prayers are answered. But it's just funny. It's like you're answered. You have your answer, and also to listen. Like they're listening to you, but listen back. Listen back. They're giving you the answer, right? And here, this is just a visualization, I feel, of what I saw, right? Well, she's laying down in water. That would be so cool. I didn't even think about that. Like, imagine you're like in a pond or a lake, you know, or the ocean. Like, really, like, that's so energetically charged, right? Like, really being submersed in nature, right? Just be careful where you're at, too, so there's no pollution or something sprayed on the soil. But anyway, okay, moving on. That's what I see for you guys. Your answers, your prayers have been answered. They are, you have your answers. I'm just going to let you go because I'm just going to repeat myself in circles. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.